So I'm sitting in a room with one mattress, a window that doesn't open, a locked closet with a clean pair of pajamas, and a bathroom that I have to call someone in order to use. The walls are painted a disgusting shade of orange. My glasses are set on the floor beside me because in that moment they were useless. My eyes crossed an action I didn't know I could do. I cannot see. The door to the cell opens, a tall grayish figure steps inside, his face blurred. I do not recognize his voice. He says, "Hello." I don't reply back. He introduces himself as a doctor. I assume he's in charge of this place. I don't want to speak to him. From the far corner, the figure speaks again. "Do you want to leave?" I say yes. He asks why. I answer, "I do not feel safe." The figure repeats himself. I want to say I don't belong here. I want to say I'm sick. I want to say you don't believe me. I say, "You think I'm insane." The figure shakes its head. I get ready to argue. "No one thinks you're insane." I quickly respond, "Every time I say the name of my condition, you flinch." He shakes his head again, mumbling a "That's ridiculous." I lean forward, slowly letting the words leave my mouth. "Lyme disease," the figure straightens up. I'm sick. Sick of being sick. Sick of being too tired to explain that I'm sick. I'm sick. Sick of the "I'm sorries" and the "Are you doing better now?" is the awkward silence after I tell you why I can't go to Six Flags. Because I might have a heart attack if I go on any of the rides. How many teenagers have to worry about having a heart attack? Are unable to breathe after taking a few steps? Are so unhealthy that it's dangerous to exercise? I am sick of worrying about having a heart attack. I'm tired. Tired of being told I'm too young to feel this much pain, but when did pain ever have an age limit? Tell me. How old do I have to be to have my pain count, to make my illness real enough, to be taken seriously in the eyes of you, doctor? Tell me. Will my pain ever really matter? I was 6 years old when I had my first positive Lyme test. I didn't know that until a couple months ago. 10 years after the fact, I don't ever remember being well. I don't know what it's like to be healthy, to not experience this much pain. I live in a body that doesn't always know how to function. I live with a brain that sometimes shuts down, and I cry. I cry a lot. Rivers as big as the Nile run with my tears into seas of pain and oceans of angst. Call me crazy angst. You're too young angst. Have you tried yoga angst? Teenagers are so lazy nowadays angst. What happened to you angst? It's because you're always on that phone of yours angst. Did you eat a Tide Pod angst? Well, at least it's not cancer. I find myself wishing that there was an end, that the D in CIDP meant dying, or the T in POTS meant terminal. If that's what it takes to be taken seriously, to be listened to be treated like a human, or just given treatment, I'm sick. Sick of being sick of being too tired to explain that, because you truly don't get it until you get it. But I'm gonna try. I don't consider myself a poet, but I do write a lot of poetry. Thank you. Some days I find myself struggling to find words or stuttering a lot. Because of my neurological issues related to Lyme, I'll sometimes get stuck on saying one word over and over and over again without being able to stop. Once I wasn't having a great day and ended up uncontrollably saying the words Harry Potter in a really bad British accent for about 5 minutes. Whenever I know I'm going to speak in front of a large crowd, I decide to perform a poem instead, eliminating the chances of those technical difficulties. The way a poem is written lets the words flow much easier than a regular speech, and a lot of times is more enjoyable to listen to. I use poetry as a way to communicate my emotions, to let you experience my pain, listen, take a turn in my shoes, walk around a bit, use this time to get to know me in a way a lot won't get to. I collected a series of poems I've written about my relationship with my chronic illness. These are not read in the order I've written them, but they represent my path to acceptance and recovery. I'm still sick. I still have a lot of really bad days, but I'm a lot better than I was last October. Chronic illness isn't an easy thing to explain, and it's even hard to describe what it's like to have it. But in 2003, a lupus patient named Christine Miserandino wrote an essay titled The Spoon Theory, in which she described a conversation she had with her friend when asked what it was like to have lupus. Sitting at a table in a restaurant, Ms. Randino collected 12 spoons from surrounding tables, handed them to her friend, and asked her to describe what her typical day would look like. Every time a new activity was mentioned, she'd take a spoon away. By doing this, Ms. Randino essentially created a new unit of energy, one that I and a lot of other chronically ill patients use daily. It explains that unlike others, our energy is limited. It needs to be rationed in order to get through the end of the day. If we exceed that daily limit, it results in having to borrow spoons from the future, causing us to maybe not have enough energy for the next day or even week. For example, this is taking an exceptional amount of spoons right now, and I probably won't be able to walk tomorrow. But it's fine. You're welcome. This next poem is one that I don't have a name for, so I just call it the Spoon Poem. It's written in the second person with having the intention of you, the listener, get a better understanding of an ill person's limited amount of energy and how quickly a good day can turn into a really bad one. I don't have any spoons with me today, and certainly not enough to distribute to each and every one of you, so I'm just going to use my fingers. Every finger represents one spoon, or a certain amount of energy. Every time I put one away, it represents one. Every time I put one down represents one being taken away. Got it? Wake up and smell the roses. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. It's a beautiful day. Make yourself a bowl of oatmeal, maybe even a cup of tea. Sit down and enjoy the morning. You have the whole day ahead of you. Take a quick shower, pick out a cute outfit, and listen to your favorite songs as you drive to that park, with pink flowers so close they almost kiss the lake. Let your feet sink into the soil as you walk barefoot in a garden of wildflowers. Look up to a sky full of Renaissance clouds, fighting with the sun over a chance to bask in your beauty. This is the image of a perfect golden afternoon. Remind yourself to breathe. Your lungs want to feel this too. It's okay to have your head in the clouds, but keep your feet on the ground. Learn from the trees around you, their wisdom greater than any I could ever hope to share. Sway with their branches as the mockingbird sings her own sacred tune. This dance between you and her alone. Notice the fog form around your feet, still planted firmly into the ground. It's normal to feel a bit of pain when you're standing in twigs and pebbles. Feel the willow's roots wrap around your legs, enabling you to take a step. You are part of this forest now. No amount of force can move you from here. A single drop of water lands on your cheek. Think, is this the sky's tears or my own? Look up to nothing but gray. Look around to nothing but gray. Remind yourself to breathe. Oop, got the wrong card. Okay. My cards are not in order. That's fine. From July to October 2017, I was pushing myself to be as normal as I could. I was told that the reason why I wasn't cured yet was not because of ineffective medication, but instead because a part of me didn't want to get better. So I made myself better. I did not listen to what my body was trying to tell me. I'd shrug off my pain, pushing away any symptom that presented itself, refusing to admit that I was still not okay. I was convinced that it was all in my head because that's what I kept being told. Until October 14th, 2017, exactly 1 year ago tomorrow, I woke up unable to move my legs. A month later, I was diagnosed with CIDP, chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, a rare condition that targets the body's peripheral nervous system. If you imagine a spectrum with MS and ALS on the far side, CIDP would fall somewhere in the middle. There hasn't been a ton of research done upon CIDP, but experts do know that it's caused by swollen nerves and nerve roots. Think of your nerve as a wire. The small metal wires on the inside would represent your nerve fibers, and the plastic layer around it would be your myelin. Now, the inflammation will destroy that plastic layer, exposing your nerve fibers, causing them to become susceptible to even more damage and slow their abilities to send and receive signals to and from the rest of the body. Common symptoms include numbness and pain in your arms and legs, extreme sensitivity to temperature and touch. It can slow your reflexes and, in extreme cases, cause you to lose complete control of your limbs altogether. CIDP only affects about 40,000 patients in the US each year, most of which are older adults, more commonly men than women, so I'm not someone you'd normally expect to have it. From the time between October and when I started treatment in March, I got around mostly by using crutches. It wasn't the best time for me emotionally. I had just graduated from having an invisible illness to one where all people do is nonstop stare. I went from failing to prove that something was actually wrong with me to not being able to hide it. And I wasn't taking it well. I became extremely angry with how ableist everything was. Small things like not being able to open the door on my own, or a 3-story building not having a working elevator, not having enough handicap spots, or a concert not having epilepsy warnings. Things that really only slightly bothered me before had started to become major obstacles. I got tired fast, tired and frustrated that I was barely able to do anything on my own. It wasn't a good way to live, constantly beating yourself up over something you can't control. Which brings me to my next poem. It's titled Love Letters to My Useless Legs. It's probably my favorite poem I've written, only because whenever I find myself frustrated with my legs, I'll silently recite this to myself in my head as apology to my body for not being impatient enough. Dear legs, I hate you. I hate you like I hate everything. I hate you more than you could ever know, but you cannot know anything because you are just legs. Dear legs, I miss you. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't miss you. I miss us. I miss when we dance along to rap songs we didn't know the meanings to yet because we were too young to know what they were actually talking about. You do not want to know. Dear legs, I don't hate you. I know I always say that I hate you, but I don't mean it. I never really mean it. I hate you like I hate everything. I don't hate you. Dear legs, don't think you need to prove something to me. I know you try your best, you are not lazy. Despite what others tell you, I know that you are not lazy, dear legs. Be patient. This takes time. I know you just want to run and jump and dance, but you can't yet. Always put yet at the end of each sentence. It makes the situation seem a little less hopeless, dear legs. I don't think you're hopeless, dear legs. Take it one step at a time. Literally, any more than one step and we'll fall down. It's okay to fall down. Dear legs, don't apologize to anyone. You did not ask to be like this. This is not your fault. None of this is your fault. If they are upset with you, they are the problem. You have nothing to apologize for. Dear legs, I don't hate you. Please don't think that I hate you. I hate you like I hate everything. I do not hate you. How could I hate you? Sure, you are useless, but I could never hate you, dear legs. You are not useless. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You're not old enough to be useless. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I never really mean it. You will never be useless. Dear legs, do not listen to me. My brain works as much as you do. Shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Do not listen to me. Dear legs, please don't be upset with me. I can tell that you're upset with me. You deserve to be upset with me, dear legs. I'm sorry. You did not ask to be like this. This is not your fault. Dear legs, I appreciate you. I know that some days it doesn't seem like it, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you even if you were useless. But you are not useless. Know that you will never be useless, but you cannot know anything because you are just legs. Working or not, you are still my legs, dear legs. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race, be patient. One step after the other, it's okay to fall down, be patient. This takes time, dear legs. I don't hate you, dear legs. I miss you, dear legs. I'll wait for you. In 2018, I went into 2018 thinking I was going to die, thinking some part of me would give up and take the rest with it. Because 2017 was so horrible, how could this year be any better? And now I'm standing here. Using all my spoons to deliver you a message. Written in empty pill bottles and a stolen childhood, trying to push away my fear that this day will be the end of me, just like it was last year. I stay lying there. I think my legs are beneath me, but I cannot feel them. I call, but they do not answer. I need them to know that I love them, that this is only temporary to my 15-year-old self. You do not know what great year you have ahead of you. Push away your panic, for there is nothing to worry about. Soon you will realize that this is no curse, no burden, this is you. Don't you realize your illness could never define you, but it has taught you who you are. To lose this is to lose a part of yourself, don't you realize? It has taught you the true meaning of courage. Showed you how to look into a mirror and smile when all you felt like doing was crying, for this is strength, not weakness. You will learn to love your broken too, and you're battered, and you're bruised. You'll learn to surround yourself in color, to be as bright as yellow, as bold as red, and as deep as blue. In your world full of lime green, just like you wanted. You have that in you. So I choose to wear black, stop mourning. You are not a sad story. To my past, present, and future self, I know that you are afraid. I am too. I know that the darkness can be intimidating when you've hit rock bottom. But look up. There's light. Thank you.